Everyone thinks the biggest danger at Christmas dinner is overcooking the turkey. Wrong. The real threat is buying the wrong turkey in the first place. The ones pumped with chemicals, soaked in salt water, injected with fillers, or raised in conditions you don't want to imagine.
We tasted 8 turkeys, and 4 of them we would not recommend.
Which turkey is worth cooking for the holiday table?
Bridget, you need a good recipe, but there's nothing you can do if you buy a bad turkey.
True. Last year, Americans bought 68 million turkeys between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
These are 8 holiday turkey brands you must avoid. 1. The pre-brined turkeys with hidden salt bombs. Pre-brined turkeys promise moist, flavorful meat. But the truth? Most are injected with 10 to 18% salt water, preservatives, and artificial flavors, meaning you pay turkey prices for water weight. The label often hides words like enhanced solution, seasoning mix, flavoring added.
I'm going to start with the thing I want you to avoid, which is an injected bird. You can see here on the label that it says it contains up to 8% and it lists a bunch of ingredients. So you really want to look for a turkey that has nothing other than turkey in it. And we found in our taste test, you're going to taste those ingredients and they don't make the turkey better.
These turkeys taste great in the store ad and terrible on the table. If the bird contains anything other than turkey, avoid it. 2. Self-basting turkeys loaded with phosphates. Self-basting sounds convenient, but here's the trick. They're pumped with sodium phosphate, a chemical used in processed meats. It makes the turkey retain water.
The biggest problems were that some of the brands were both dry and wet. That was because a lot of the turkeys are what they call pre-basted.
Now, I'd say that roast turkey is the most anticipated, if not challenging, main course of the year.
I know we think about cooking the turkey and that's complicated, but if you start with a better bird at the supermarket, it's going to be so much more delicious when you get it to the table.
So it looks plump, but cooks up spongy and rubbery. Phosphates also spike sodium levels and can mess with kidney health if eaten regularly. No holiday flavor is worth that risk. 3. Ultra-cheap store brands using mechanically separated meat. If the price looks suspiciously low, there's a reason. Some budget turkeys mix normal cuts with mechanically separated turkey, a paste-like ingredient made by grinding bones, fat, and scraps into a slurry. It's legal, but absolutely not what you want in your Christmas feast. Texture? Mushy. Flavor? Metallic. Experience? Ruined.
It makes it mushy. It makes it soft. So the first thing is texture. You want it to be moist, but not soggy. Broth, chemicals, salt, and all these other things into the turkey, which is, of course, they're not brushing anything on the outside. They're injecting.
4. Turkeys injected with butter flavor instead of real butter. Real butter on turkey is amazing. Fake butter flavor, not so much. Many frozen turkeys contain artificial butter flavor, palm oil, yellow coloring. Manufacturers use this to create a fake, golden roasted look.
That tastes like a tuna fish sandwich.
Oh, well,
without the bread.
The big problem was that they just didn't have a great texture. The second problem is some of them had some off flavors. So they're injecting things into the turkey, and in some cases it said, well, is this fishy?
But once it cooks, the flavor turns synthetic and bitter. If you want a turkey that tastes like real food, choose one without these additives. 5. Birds from mass production farms with antibiotic overuse. Some large commercial turkey brands rely heavily on antibiotics to keep overcrowded birds from getting sick. The problem? Residue can remain in the meat, and over time contributes to antibiotic resistance, something health experts warn about constantly. These farms produce millions of birds but ignore quality. If the packaging doesn't say no antibiotics ever, assume the worst.
We added our own salt. We ended up with basically the same salt level. So we didn't really have any problems that the injected ones or the pre-basted were too salty. You just don't want to obviously brine or salt those. Air dried them all, then we roasted them all per our recipe. And so the cooking is exactly the same here. These have all been salted for 24 hours, the ones that were not treated with salt.
6. Turkeys with hidden sugar, dextrose, and corn syrup. Holiday turkeys should not taste like candy, yet many mass-market brands add corn syrup solids, dextrose, brown sugar injections. This makes dry turkey artificially moist and gives it a fake, sweet glaze. But it also burns quickly in the oven, making your turkey turn dark and patchy. A turkey should be savory. If the label lists sugars, skip it.
I would say minerally. How does that sound? But
I like that better.
But the dark meat does have those metallic or minerally notes that are gamey. The dark meat really should have 3, 4, 5 times the amount of fat that is in the white meat. And if they bred the turkey so that there's very little fat in the entire bird, you get very little flavor.
7. Pre-stuffed turkeys, the most dangerous option. Pre-stuffed turkeys are the biggest holiday health hazard. Why? They're stuffed before freezing, making it nearly impossible to guarantee the inside cooks to a safe temperature. The USDA has repeatedly warned about bacterial growth deep inside these birds. One mistake and you're serving a Christmas feast of salmonella. By stuffing separately, or make your own.
So you've been sampling. Anything that's immediately standing out to you that's good or bad?
This one, the dark meat, almost flavorless. Really having a hard time actually differentiating it between it and the breast meat here. This one, very moist, but I'm trying to figure out if it's moist or wet, which, there's a fine line between the two.
8. Natural turkeys that aren't actually natural. Brands love using the word natural, but it means absolutely nothing legally. A turkey can be labeled natural, even if it contains saltwater injections, flavor enhancers, preservatives, added broth. The loophole is in the wording, minimally processed. So don't trust marketing. Trust the ingredient list, it never lies.
Any brand, fresh or frozen, are pretty much the same. The only big difference is you're going to need to plan ahead. This Mary's free range is also a great option if your family likes white meat. It has a much larger breast than a heritage bird. Anything that is antibiotic-free, free range, vegetarian fed, that's also a good thing. This is our favorite brand. This is Mary's free range.
The 3 turkey brands that are actually safe and taste great. 1. Butterball Fresh, not frozen, not pre-brined.
I like how seasoned it is.
Well, it is well seasoned. As much as I'm excited about that you got the winner, the Butterball.
Butterball frozen turkeys can be hit or miss, but their fresh, minimally processed line is far better. No artificial flavors, no weird injections, better texture. If you pick Butterball, choose the fresh one. 2. Bell & Evans Organic Turkey. These birds are air-chilled, no water absorption, antibiotic-free, fed cleaner feed, raised humanely. Because they're not water pumped, you get real turkey flavor, not salty broth.
So this is my favorite.
You chose the winner.
Yay!
This is Mary's free range. It has what I would call old-fashioned turkey flavor.
It does.
Mary's is our top-rated heritage bird. It's really quite delicious. It's so much easier to cook a turkey if it starts out delicious.
3. Mary's free range turkey, a favorite of chefs. Why? Because the birds are raised slower, fed healthier diets, never injected with solutions. They roast beautifully and taste like old-school turkey, clean, rich, flavorful. If you want a premium Christmas centerpiece, this is the safest choice.